to the party. I believe it's a party. Here's the chat. Carolina, okay, this is recorded. All right, so welcome to the chatbot building workshop with Coco Hub. My name is Eran. This is Miri, and we also have the gorgeous Racheli Krever at our service. So let's start.
Okay. Let's do this. Okay, so let's start with a quick who we are. So we have Racheli, as we said, here with us from Versio Academy, and let's just make sure everyone's muted. And just a sec. Okay, if you're not muted, just make sure you're not making too much noise. So we're Coco Hub. We're fractionless and no-code platform that enables you to build chatbots, voice bots, any bots you want easily. You basically just need to be able to write content, and we all already know how to write conversations because we already know how to have conversations, most of us, hopefully, even though this year has been rough on some of us. And I'll hand over to Racheli to explain a little bit about Versio.
Hi guys, thank you Miri and Eran, and welcome everybody. I'm Rachel, I'm the founder of Versio Academy, which is basically the leading school in Israel for localization. We teach everything that has to do with localization, translators, reviewers, writers, and we have quite a few plans in the pipeline. And Versio Academy and Coco Hub have joined to give you or to teach you how to write and design conversations and basically become a conversation designer using AI and of course Coco Hub's no-code platform. So thanks again for joining us, and thank you Marie for joining us again, and take it away, Miri and Eran.
Thank you.
All right. So these are us. Beautiful, more or less. She's more, I'm less. I'm the head of marketing operations at Coco Hub. Also, like 25 years of experience in the content and media in Israel. And Miri.
Okay, so I'm the head of content and social media. I've also done the journalism for a while, and I also do fashion. I have an online fashion magazine. That's a whole other sphere we can talk about at a different time. And we're both also, I think I didn't add it to our presentation, but we're both conversation designers. We love it. That's a big giant part of what we enjoy doing around here at Coco Hub. I think that's mostly about us.
Yeah.
So what we'll do and what you'll do, we'll give you the basics of how and why to build and to create a chatbot for your business. And what you'll do is you'll build a chatbot, or at least, as you can see, understand how to understand the high-level principles and learn about the full course. The whole idea of our workshop today is to give you an appetizer, a taste of what a full conversation design course will be like. We'll explain all about. There's a basic and advanced expert courses. You'll be able to get all the information, anything you want to ask about the course. When does it start, and what will you learn, who will you meet there, and how will you use your knowledge to become a conversation designer. And I think that's what we're doing. That's what we'll do today. Okay, so what is conversational AI? Conversational AI is basically it's very simple. It's instead of making you learn how to learn talk to the machine. So instead of you learning code and learning all these things to be able to talk to a machine, the machine learns how to talk to you, how to engage in conversation. So there's a machine learning in the process, or rule based, and there's a lot of terminology involved in this. But this is the main idea. It's the machine, the computer, the program, however you want to address it, talking like humans, talking to humans in human language. Um, and what is a chatbot? A chatbot is a conversational agent. It's usually text, but we know it's kind of a confusing term. So some people say chatbot and they mean voice or text or anything else. It's an agent that talks to you and simulates some sort of conversation with a person, and it achieves something. It can achieve a game, so that goal could be fun, or it can achieve it can achieve you applying for something, or getting the FAQs for your business, or any purpose you can think of. You can give the chatbot can give any information you'd like to any customer or any user you have.
Okay, so what are the popular use cases for chatbots? Over the last years, since the chatbot boom started, people use it for mainly lead generation, customer support, customer service. But over the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, especially when due to COVID, the whole world went online, we've seen a lot of industries that start to adopt the conversational technology for their purposes. For example, there's a lot of patient engagement in healthcare. There's an ed tech chatbots that are used to help students learn. In fintech, there's a big wave of adapting fintech in insurance tech. For example, in Netherlands, there's a big insurance company that took over the whole smart speakers apps. So if you want an insurance in one, if you stay to the smart speaker, I want an insurance, no matter what insurance is it, they have like 70 different apps, you're getting to there. And for me, as Miri said, every conversational goal that is achievable by talking to somebody is achievable to build in a chatbot. And let's see Eric Cades. Eric Cades is the guy, the founder of TextChat, which is a platform in USA that connects chatbots to call centers. He's doing like the human side and the technological side. And he has a great story about what happened when you move from a regular form to a conversational interface.
Hello there.
Okay, sorry.
We worked on was a radio commercial that the announcer on the radio commercial would tell people to text in to a short code number like 222333, and they would get a text back with a link to a web form. And that it was a lead gen program for this. It was a school actually to become a certified professional trainer. So when you clicked on the link, you would normally go to a web form. Well, it was a multi-million-dollar radio campaign that had been running for years. And we had just built our platform. And I said to the owner of the media buying agency, I have an idea. Why don't we turn that form into a conversation? So instead of just putting, trying to fit your name in the form, it'll just say, hi, can I have your first name? Can I have your last name, et cetera, et cetera. Lo and behold, 64% more people started filling out the form.
Wow.
And as you can imagine, on a multi-million-dollar radio campaign, to see that kind of increase in conversion was like, oh my God, these things are here to stay. And it was a very exciting moment. They went from like 22% of the people were filling out the form. And then with a conversational interface, 36% of the people started filling out the form. So it was so successful, the company ended up selling their business because of the increase in leads that they got from the conversational interface.
And this is one great use case. Another great use case was Kaya, the car company. About 2.5 years ago, they had 7% conversions from the website, and they introduced Kian, which was a Facebook Messenger-based chatbot. And over the first 4 months of its existence, they talked about he had 600,000. One more. We'll go back to Mary. 600,000 conversations via the messenger, which was 50 times the amount before. And they had 21% conversions, like 3 times the regular conversions. And Natalie Toy from Kaya told the DigiDay back in the day, knowing how the customers behave in a chatbot gives us much more insights than studying website analytics. So in this stage, we're going to have a great friend of ours that comes from Italy. And buonasera, Mary Tommaso.
Hello, buonasera.
So Mary is a conversation designer. She is one of the biggest experts in Italy for online business consulting. She has more than 100 clients. And Mary, can you tell us what insights, what added value does chatbots give businesses?
Well, I think every company should use some. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, some kind of chatbot or voice bot, some kind of interaction, because it's not just adding another channel, another touch point to the whole customer experience, but it's actually getting closer to customers. So it's definitely something that I'm seeing now. Many more companies, even small companies, are adopting, as you were saying, Eran. It all started with specific and few use cases, but now it's going, I would say, almost everybody wants now to have a chatbot, at least a small chatbot on the website.
Mm-hmm. And what is the demand on the market for conversation designers, especially for great conversation designers like you?
Thank you for that. Well, it's really high. I'm seeing everywhere demand for conversation designer, conversational copywriter, AI trainer. So everybody, maybe some companies do not know how to call this role, but sometimes they just refer to chatbot writer. Sometimes they call it conversational
designer,
AI trainer. Sometimes they look for linguists, but actually what they need is a conversation designer. So I think it's really growing.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, can you tell us a little bit about the Coco Developers course, the course you took with us?
Yeah, of course. Well, I loved it. As you know, I always loved the platform because of because it's easy to use, and because I'm not a developer, and I always say that developers should do their job and writers or designers should do something else. We should do our job. So I really loved the no-code aspect. And what I really loved about the course, because I also did other courses that for me were too much theoretical. And what I liked about the course is that at the end, I was actually, I left the course with a chatbot, with a project, which was also judged by Yaki. So there was all these things about the Yaki test, Yaki was seeing if the chatbot was actually conversational, because sometimes we tend to make it easier by creating flows that only have a yes/no answers. And what we learned in the course is how to create really smart, likable conversations for to create a very good experience for people who are using the chatbot.
Also, you can go to Mary Tomaso's website, marytomaso.com, and talk with Eva, the bot coach, which was built on Coco Hub's platform. She gives really great tips about how to launch your career and what to do on LinkedIn. So I won't spoil it for you, so you can see it. Any other questions for Mary? Here? You can write it in chat or open your mic. All right. Heli, anything you want to ask Mary? Or? Okay. How do you sum up? How do you see the future of chatbots, Mary? In what is it going to be like one of the hottest trends in digital marketing, even better than today?
Yes, I think we are going towards voice. Well, we are already into the voice first, but I think chatbot and voice bot, and probably it's going to grow into digital persons. Actually, with Coco Hub, one of the things that I love is I don't know if I can spoil, is the integration with Zoom. So when you create a chatbot, it shouldn't actually be called a chatbot because it's like a digital person. So you can talk to the agent, let's call it agent, that you created. And I think it's what I'm seeing now is more a growing trend towards a website having a virtual person interacting. So it will not just be the chat box, but it will be a more thorough experience.
Emily Lee is asking about the relationship between your linguistics degree and design and conversations.
Well, the linguistics part helps with, especially with what is called AI training. So it's not as much in the design part, but in understanding how to better craft the dialogues, to create different version, let's say, of the same words, adding synonyms, creating different version of the same utterance. Also, of course, phonetics helps when you are designing for voice. So it's something that it's helpful. It's not necessary. I've seen a lot of conversation designers who come, like Miriam Eran, who comes from journalism, or writers. But linguistics is required when you have to work specifically on AI training.
All right, Mary, thank you very much for being with us. Great insights. It was a pleasure to have you. And wait, see that another question in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay. Emily is thanking you, and we're thanking you also.
Grazie.
Great.
Okay.
So could you click on the next one?
I will. Thank you.
So now now it's time for us to get our hands dirty. So what we'll do is we'll log into Coco Hub, the platform itself, and then we'll go over a few basic things. We'll show you the say node, the navigation node, and just a sec. And then we'll go into some components. We'll explain. Don't worry, we'll explain the whole thing. So I'm just sending now in the chat. Just a sec. This is the link to log into Coco Hub. So it's once you click, you'll be able to see you'll be able to see the builder. This space here is it's a builder. Let me just No, maybe we should.
Yeah, stop sharing here and start sharing the hub.
Yeah, I think it would be easier.
All right, so I'm stopping sharing this one. Wait, and we'll start sharing the hub now. Wait, not this one, but this one. Okay, yeah. So we'll share now the screen with the sound. And this is, once you get in the cocohub.ai website, you will see, first of all, you can log in using your email address or create a user, but you can also log in using your Facebook or your GitHub identity. So we'll give everybody like a moment or two to log in. If everybody had any problem, please let us know, because it's a workshop after all. So you have to work. You didn't came here for free. You have to work here, people.
And once we'll give you a moment. It's basically just click login.
Wait, Ilana is asking the.
So what do we need to do now? Do we need to sign in?
Yeah, just sign in.
Okay, just sign in, and then we'll start. We'll go over the hub, and we'll show you. We'll start building our very own chatbot. So I assume everyone is seeing the same screen. It's you'll have the same thing that Eran has on his screen. You'll have on yours. You'll see a little box. We call these, any box on this space we call a node, and you'll just have one that says entry. You'll probably also, because you're logging in not like us for the first time, you'll be able to see a tutorial, like a guide that guides you through the whole thing. You can close it just because for right now we'll be your tour guides on this tour, but you'll be able to see it again if you'd like by clicking the little hat sign.
This one here.
Right there, Learning Center. This will take you back, so don't worry if you feel like right now you're unable to see. And I see that some people are unable to do it live with us because they're on their phone. It's fine. You can just watch. It's also it will show you and explain the whole thing, and then you can log in and use the Learning Center. It's very simple. That's our whole thing. We're very simple. So so we'll start by creating our very first node. A node, as I said, is these little boxes that we
building block, basically.
That's right, the building block. So click on your screen, and then you'll see that something will appear, a whole giant thing, a whole window. And then we'll choose if you see it says component, and we'll choose the first one that says say. And now this building block will appear on your screen. And here, this is what your bot, your chatbot, will say once it starts the conversation. Right now, as you can see, it's empty, just says line. So we'll click on the line and we'll write whatever we want our bot to say. Let's just say for this practice, I have a flower shop, and I'll just go with, hi, welcome to my flower shop, just because it's. And then what?
The entry, just connect the entry to the say, and this is that. And this is basically the first this one.
Okay, so what we did here is connect the entry. This is where your user enters the conversation to the first thing your bot will say. This little line, the transition, the line connects these two. Now you can click on publish. Publish is basically save. Click on publish just to make sure that your work is saved, because you don't want to work too much and then have it disappear for some reason. Then after this, you want to navigate your user somewhere. So you'll click on the space again on this blank area. And then if you want to navigate them, you'll just click on navigation. This is where you'll direct your user where they want to go. So, and once again, you click on the port to connect these two. This is, we connect them so the bot will be able to follow this string. So there's a flow, and we show the bot where to go with the conversation. This is the connections. Here in the navigations, you know what? Eran is super excited about this new feature, and I don't want to take his his thunder, so I'll just let him explain this part because it's really awesome. It's new, and we're super excited about it. But Eran is a little more excited than me.
That's because I'm like older. I have more years of excitement, and yeah. Okay, so intent is actually what does the user want to say to you. For example, here after welcome to my flower shop, what can the user say? He can say hello, he can say goodbye, he can say anything. So now once you click on the, by the way, Miri said welcome to my flower shop, but basically you can write anything you want in the first say. If your use case is for chocolate shop, you can write to my chocolate shop, and if it's for like education, you can basically just the first prompt is how you as a person would start a conversation, a sales conversation, a familiarity conversation about your service or your business or the thing that you want to present. So now that you're going to intent, and here in the intent, we have more than 50 different intents of what the user will say. So for example, here, you believe that your user will say hi or hello. Hello, let's say hello. And okay, we have an intent called hello, which is basically the user says hello. What are you saying now? So let's say that you start the conversation and you say welcome to the flower shop, and the user says hello. And now what do you want to say to the user? Anybody have an idea? For example,
how may I help you?
That's great.
Perfect.
How may I help you is great. It may be a little bit too wide, like conceptually, because, for example, like if you have like a bigger shop or a supermarket, it can be a whole lot of different things. But let's say that you want to say, how may I help you? Because it's a flower shop, and basically you want to ask the user, the user can ask like very specific thing, how much it costs or what are the opening hours and stuff. So how may I help you?
And also I want to point out, I hope you noticed, Eran connected the hello port to the say one. And if you don't do that, they're just floating around unconnected.
Yeah, this is like what happened when you don't do it. Now, in the right part, you will see that there's a place to test everything. You can also do it by voice if you want to turn it on. But let's say that we need like in text. So hey, say hey, welcome to my flower shop. And now, no matter what I'm writing, why? And now the conversation ends and say, I have no idea what you're talking about because we didn't connect it to anything. So let's say that now we're connecting the hello to how may I help you, and we're resetting it. And here we're saying, hey, welcome to the flower shop. Hello. How may I help you? Okay.
See, just this connection makes the bot go to the next turn, to the next part of the conversation.
Yeah, this one.
But if you were using something else other than hello, what would happen then?
Okay, this is where the magic happens.
Let's try. Let's try. Now, let's try. Hey, welcome to my flower shop. Super califragilistic. I have no idea what you're talking about because it fell down than anything else. So I think somebody wrote in chat. Thank you, Maria. So here, the anything else is basically when you have no words, what are you going to say to the user? So let's say that you want to like, because you're a flower shop, you want to be like talk about what is your favorite flower. So let's say that if the user says something that was unlike you didn't plan for it, you want to still get out of it gracefully. So from anything else, you do what is your favorite flower? Mine is favorite. It takes only the American. Mine is lilies. And here, if I'm not connecting it, it will still float. But when I'm connecting it from anything else to here, so let's say what happens now. Hey, welcome to our flower shop. Avocado. What is your favorite flower? Mine is lilies. Okay, so now we just found out what is called a fallback. Fallback is when you have nothing to say, this is what the chatbot is saying, and you should have something in store for these places that the user says something that you didn't plan, because otherwise the conversation will end and the whole interaction will just get lost. So let's say that we're continuing the fun of how may I help you. Now, what can you ask a flower shop, an online flower shop, for example? Let's hear from you.
I have an idea.
Okay.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm excited about what we do.
Okay.
What about opening hours?
Yeah. So we can connect it from here, and then let's search for the intent of opening hours. Oh, nice. We have opening hours. So wait, somebody wrote in the chat, do you deliver? That's great. That's a great conversation. And that's a great idea. Perfect one. Okay, so let's say from the opening hours, we have, let's say that you're open like every day in the week from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So from the opening hours, you go here to, we're open every day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So this, I think maybe it's a good time to point out and explain. When it says opening hours in the intent, it means that basically anything that your user says that has a question about opening hours, so when are you open and what time do you open, all these questions, they're all magically inside this intent. So you don't have to write when do you open, how do you, where, like all these questions. They're all packed inside the magic of the word opening hours.
Yeah. So let's say they actually Dana brought a great question. Are you doing deliveries? Because we just launched the intents like a few days ago. So we don't have an intent yet for delivery. So what are you going to do? Let's add it live. That's a great one. So we're going to add, and now we're searching for delivery. And we're saying nothing. Bummer. So now we can do it both ways, or make your own or create. This is the same. So let's click on the create and let's call it delivery. So now we're adding the first phrase. What can you ask? Are you doing deliveries?
Or do you deliver?
Do you deliver? Can we take away? Can we take away from your shop?
And then you can add 1, 2, 3, as many as you'd like, and the machine itself will use these phrases as a reference, as a way to realize which other phrases are close to it, are similar to it. So you don't have to add all possible words or stuff like that. You can add a few phrases just to enrich the machine, but that's all. You don't have to add millions of phrases inside here. You can, I think it's better to spend your time on your bot and not in writing a lot of phrases in here.
Wait. Emily, under navigation, hello includes a class of possible, yeah, hello utterances from the users, like hi, like
hello, hi,
hello, hi, shalom,
aloha.
aloha, hello in one L, for example. And Dennis is asking, can you use one intent block, or do you recommend using multiple? Well, that's a great question. Okay, so I'm just finishing how to set up a new intent. So now we're going to publishing settings. We're putting tags like what it's related to, for example, customer service,
Delivery.
and delivery.
This, yeah, just anything that makes sense to you, and the description is.
What is the description for your?
Just for you to identify it later and know what is this intent about.
User asks about deliveries, and if you think this is a good one, you can also send a publish request, and then it goes to us, and we're seeing if it's good enough. We put it on the hub, and everybody can use it. But sometimes, let's say that it's a very specific one for your flowers that you want only in specific flowers to be able to answer. So maybe you don't want to send publish request. But for this time, let's click and save, and we have our own new tag. And now you see in delivery, we have this one. So we're adding deliveries. And are we doing deliveries, Miri?
Definitely, yeah. My shop delivers like all the flowers.
All right. Yeah, of course.
We deliver.
We deliver
anything.
Anything.
Flower related, let's say.
Anywhere on earth.
And the moon. My shop also delivers to the moon.
And to the moon. Also. Okay, so from delivery, we're connecting it to here. So Dennis asked if to use multiple navigation nodes, and actually you should use multiple intents in a single navigation, because you can also, let's say that you're trying to create something. Let's say that after the question about the opening hours, let's say that we're writing, is there anything else that you want to know? And then you can connect it back here. So let's try it. Wait, just see the question in the chat. Question is very cool. Right, thank you, Emily. Okay, so let's try it. Let's test it. Hey, welcome to a flower shop. Hello or hi. How may I help you? You see the utterance for hello is hi. How may I help you? What are your opening hours, please? Oh, okay. For some reason, the please probably took it. Okay. What are your opening? That's where the machine learning still hasn't learned. What are your opening hours? Okay, it didn't go back because we didn't put it in the right way. So let's do it from the beginning. Hey, hey, how may I help you? Opening hours. Oh, okay. So the opening hours is a bit buggy. We'll fix it. But let's ask about deliveries. As we told you,
because you have a hyphen between opening hours?
What?
You have a hyphen.
What, a hyphen? A dash, you know. Actually, the phrase, as you can see, the phrase is here. So yeah, it's a technical bug, but it's supposed to be fine. Yeah, we just launched it softly, and it's supposed to be like yeah, even better. So let's also well, let's ask about deliveries. Hey.
Oh, and then we can do a name component.
Yeah. Okay. How may I help you? Are you delivering? Do you deliver? Yeah, of course we do. We deliver anything to anywhere on Earth and to the moon also. This was the intent that we just created. And if you let's say that you want, there's also a possibility of like creating a very wide possibilities here. Look at the chat, see if something.
I think we can go to the name.
Yeah, so let's say that we're creating a big one and you want to duplicate it, so you can right-click on the component and duplicate the node, and then just put it everywhere else in the conversation. So now we will delete it and we'll go to the components. So Coco is actually conversational component. And what is a conversational component? Let's say that I'm meeting Miri, the amazing Miri, for the first time, and I'm asking her, Miri, what's your name?
It's Miri.
It's Miri. So this was a conversational component.
It's a mini conversation inside the conversation.
That's right. And this kind of conversational component is supported inside our hub. When you go here, you see on the left navigation bar, there's a hub. And here, you can see multitudes of components. You can see multitudes of components that each of them is achieving a specific aim, a specific goal in the conversation. For example, Coco name gets and verifies the user first and last name. Coco scheduler helps users set up a date and time for a meeting. Coco phone number can collect users' phone number. Complainer is taking complaints. Medicals, building a component, how to build a component about the Chinese Bachelor's Day. But let's start with the name, because every conversation with the customer, you need to know his name or her name or their name, because some people are like referring to themselves as not like a singular, which is completely fine. So let's just use the namer. So what we're doing, we're clicking on the left, and now we're searching at the component's name. And now you have Coco name, just first name, login also Hebrew namers. There's possibility of collecting names in Hebrew. Pet is asking about pet's name, but we just want the Coco name. We hover around it and we see what is the Coco name doing, get and verifies the user, description, component type, component from the hub, and we click on the name. So let's see what we're doing here. Welcome to the Coco shop, but to my flower shop, and now we want to connect it to a namer. And from here, now we're starting the conversation again. We're doing publish.
So you see, the rest of the conversation is kind of like disconnected right now. Yeah. We decided to go a different path, and we can obviously connect it later and have this whole thing reconnected. But right now, we decided to kind of put this aside for a moment and focus on this. So the rest of the conversation is disconnected.
Yeah. So we're starting. Hey, welcome to our flower shop. Hey, my name is John the Bot. What is your name? Franklin Benjamin. Hello, Franklin. Is your last name Benjamin?
Seems like
yes. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yes. Nice to meet you, Franklin Benjamin. And what happened here is now, sorry. Oh. When we move it, you will see that here, you see the little bubble here. We got two parameters. We collected two inputs that we want to use later. So here we collected the user's last name and first name. The first name is Franklin and the last name is Benjamin. And this way, what it gives you a couple of things. First of all, it gives you an opportunity to have, let's say that you actually run a flower shop and you want to know the name of the customer that you're creating, that talked with you. So after talking to you, you will have the customer's name and you know that Franklin Benjamin just talked to you. And the other thing that it can give you is an opportunity to relate to the parameters that were collected during the conversation. And I won't like go too far to explain that, but let's say that we're connecting now the namer here. And since we collected the first name, that let's say that I want now to surprise the person and relay and call him his first name. How may we help you? And now I'm just doing something that you don't need to know now, but I'm doing it because it's possible. User first name and magic. Now magic happens. Hey, my name is John Bot. What is your name? Franklin Benjamin. Oh, Franklin's last name Benjamin, sure. Nice to meet you, Franklin Benjamin. Okay, now we're going to hello. Hello. How may I help you, Franklin? You see what happened here? I collected the user's name, and now I can refer him or her by the name that he provided or she provided during the conversation. And this is allowing for much better personalization of the experience, because otherwise it will be robotic. And let's say that you actually want to ask him or her what is the favorite flower. And so let's say that now we want to add like what is your favorite flower? Okay. So we can also like relate to the person, the first name, and collect the name of the favorite flower and just go with it and then say, wow, your favorite flower that we collected is my favorite flower too. And imagine how great is the experience that you have when you find out that the chatbot of the flower shop loves your favorite flower too, which also personalization, better customer experience, and stuff. So now we're giving you some minutes to experience and to experiment with this.
Ken, I think we should do maybe like 10 minutes for you just to use a say and navigation. And if you want to use the name one, you can. And then we can go into, if we'll have enough time, we'll go into customization. And if not, we can just go to the next part, and we'll explain about the course and what you learn, the different types of courses we have. So let's do like 10 minutes. We can, I think we'll leave the screen on, but it's, but I would really recommend just go on Coco Hub as we speak. Try writing, try testing it out, create your bot for your shop, your business, whatever you're doing. You can obviously do it for your website, whichever website you have, or you can even create a test one just to play with it. You don't have to do it right now for your specific business.
Okay,
So
Liat and Dennis asked questions which are similar one to another. How do you collect the data or you add an entity? So let's say that we want to know what is the user's favorite flower. So we're asking him or her, what is your favorite flower? I just do a bigger zoom. What is your favorite flower? And now we collected their name. So now what we're doing, we're going to the navigation, adding a navigation. And in navigation, let's say that we want to like say to relate to every input that the user is doing in the same way, which is to say that this is our favorite flower also. So after adding the intent, here we're getting the user to write anything he wants or she. And then we're going here, and here we're going to the green ones. Green ones, we have a save input, which is node will save user input to context. So I'm just giving it the very high level. We'll delve into it in the course, but this is like the very high level of how to do it. And from anything else, we connect it to the save input. And here we could save input to like flower type. And this is the way we decided to write it, flower type. And now we want to surprise the guy or the girl that they entered and say his name and that you also love the flower that he loves. Wow, this is the first name. Did you know that $, curly parentheses, context, dot, flower type, flower dot type. This is the context we took before. Is my favorite flower also? And let's see if it works. Is your name Franklin Benjamin? Yeah. Nice to meet you, Franklin Benjamin. Hey. What is your favorite flower, Franklin? Lily. Wow, Franklin, did you know that lily is my favorite flower also? And this is how we collected an input and used the input.
Eran, may I ask something?
Yeah.
When I asked about an entity, I referred to something else. When you first opened Cocoa Hub, you had an entity to the left of the screen. But when I just signed in and tried it myself, I don't have an entity.
Entry or entity? Don't
entry.
You have an entry?
Entry. Okay.
This is an entry. When you log in when you log in, I will just save and I will log out and log in again to show you again.
Okay.
So when you're going for the first time, let's see that I'm signing in. Let's say that I'm signing in using my email address, my Google. And here, when I'm starting, I'm supposed to have, if not, it's a bug, but you're supposed to have, no, sorry, every time you start anything, you're going to plus and then default, and then you can give it your name, like workshop demo 1940. This is like this one, Iran. This is a very long one. And the most basic two things that you will have once you start is the first one will be
zoom
entry.
out, and then you
maybe zoom out, maybe you don't see it on the Canva, but the entry is supposed to be the first thing that you have. You can't add an entry because it's the default, it's the only thing that you have built in when you start.
And everything else is supposed to be linked to this entry. Is this right?
Yeah, this is like a basic flow of conversation. Think about how you talk it and just write it.
Entry is a conversation?
Entry is the point where the conversation starts.
Yeah, entry isn't like you don't have to write anything in the entry. It's just like think about it as the starting line of the race.
Okay.
The place when the conversation is starting.
So let's take make sure you log into the hub and start building using the say, navigate, use the name one, and after that we'll go on to we'll go on to customize components if we'll have enough time for it.
Okay. So we're also open to questions. If you want to write in the chat, if you want to write us privately, feel free. Here, question. Yes, Dennis.
Hi, I figure I'd just talk it out because it's kind of long.
Okay.
So we are able to save the information that's provided to the bot and then use the information in the conversation, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The next step is, how do I then connect or how do I take the information from here and then add it to my CRM or email campaign to follow up and say, hey, you like lilies, I like lilies. You want to buy some lilies?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question, Dennis. Right now, we have, sorry, I'll go back to the Versio. And I will show you how to do it. Versio workshop. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue with the example of the flower shop. And now there's a possibility, let's say that this is the end of the conversation and you wanted now to have it sent to your email. We will enable to connect it to CRM very, very soon, not like in the previous days, but not like in the upcoming days, but very, very soon. Like I believe that maybe when the full course is starting, you will be able to do it, but if not, like very upcoming, the upcoming weeks. So let's say that after this conversation, you're going to the email, and here in the email, you can this way you can write an email to yourself. So what is your email? Then it's I can give mine. Okay, so I'll give mine, eran@ai.com. And now the subject is, hey, somebody chatted with me, your flower shop chatbot. And here you can see that you can get the person's details. For example, hey, this is the person's details. You remember the thing that we started before? First name, last name. This is the context user last name. Now, first name, and favorite flower, because this is like the other input that we got from him. Her favorite flower. Now user flower.type, and then it will be sent to your email. Let's have the conversation. Hi.
Go ahead.
Okay. What is your name? Frank Ben. Yes. Nice to meet you, Frank Ben. Hey. Hi. What is your favorite flower? Lily. Oh, Frank, did you know that lily is my favorite flower also? And here, we're going here, and you will get an email from Coco. Do you remember this? Does this look familiar? Hey, somebody chatted with your flower shop chatbot. This is the person details. Last name Ben, first name Frank, favorite flower Lily, because this is the information that we collected. So now you can just write an email to yourself, but very soon, as I said, Dennis and everybody else, you will be able to connect it to CRM and different kind of things. If you have a specific use case that is up and running and you need any help, you can contact us and we will help you with a quicker integration, because we can do it manually. But for now, you can also see under channels all the places that you can publish the chatbots. But we will go to this later. So for now, we'll just continue building and just let us know
if you have any questions.
Any questions?
I think the quickest way to get integration is to get it to Google Sheets, and then it can be taken from Google Sheets onwards. I think that's the quickest way. Another quick question, and I hope this is not overstepping. Is this Google's API, like Google's Dialogflow?
Okay, you asked about Google Dialogflow. We have, if you built a chatbot using one of these tools, Dialogflow, Rasa, Cognigy, IBM Watson, Lewis, or ManyChat, you can take the chatbot from there and deploy it on our platform, because some of them doesn't have the publishing channels that we have, but there's a wizard specifically that takes you from the Dialogflow to that takes you Dialogflow. It's called the agent key. You need to just take out the agent key of the chatbot from the dialog flow, and then we have a wizard that you can put it there and like grab it from there and put the chatbot there, and it will be just boom.
Awesome. So I build many chatbots.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's right.
Perfect. Any more questions? How is everyone doing? Are you able to connect your to start building your bot, and are you using the name component, or did you discover something else you'd like to ask? We can wait, it's fine.
Okay.
I just want to ask a question. All these conversations are only in English, or can be done in Hebrew also, or Spanish, or?
That's
fine.
That's a great question, and there's also an answer, because yeah, you can do it on other languages. What it's not yet supported fully is not okay. Let's go and try to write it on a different language. Let's try to write it on Spanish, and so maybe you want to add an intent in Spanish for C. So you're saying for C, but there's no component specific intent called C. So you want to create. So here you can write it. Later in a very short time, you will be able to define the language in advance, and then to create a complete intent in Spanish or Hebrew or anything else. And for now, let's say that the name of the component will be C, and then you want to say C and other, I don't know Spanish, so I don't know other ways in Spanish to say C, but let's say that C this way, etc., etc., and you just create your own intent in your own language, and you can use it. And then you just have to like make sure that the phrases that the user is using will be, or close enough, will be under the intent that you're using. And you can write the say also in different language. For example, you can say, step 4, you can say, see, did you know? That's for example. So the machine learning is not full supporting. I don't know if any language on the globe, but if you have enough phrases and enough utterances of the same thing, it should work, and it will work better in the very, very next few weeks.
How about Hebrew?
Hebrew too.
Same.
Hebrew too. For now, you can just write it on Hebrew, like for example.
You can create the whole thing using say and navigate in Hebrew.
For people who don't know Hebrew, I'm just writing Shalom. זו חנות הפרחים שלי. It's like, hey, it's the same in Hebrew. Hey, it's my flower shop. How can I help? איך אפשר לעזור? And then you can ask, you can add a navigation of add an intent, and then like we did for the connection with the opening hours, you can create and then create opening hours Hebrew, for example, and then add like phrases, where are you opened in Hebrew, etc., etc. So you can do it this way.
And save, obviously, when you're done.
Yeah, and save at the end. As I said, the Hebrew is not working 100% now, but it will be much better.
But the interface is only in English?
Yeah.
The interface itself, yeah, the say, navigation, etc. This is in English. Yeah, but you can write in different languages. Also, okay, how do you publish the chat on website? That's a great question, Ilana Norman. And here, let's say that you want to publish your website, and just take this one off. Let's see if there's another question related. How do you use a collectively training DNI or the AI training restricted to the Cocoa Hub team?
The training itself is done with our side, but if you add more phrases, you'll be able to probably find, it will catch more phrases. So you don't need to be training the AI. We're doing the AI magical part.
The magicians are sitting in this room. Okay, so Ilana asked about how do you embed it in a website. So let's say that you have a website, and now what you're going to do, you're going to channels, and then you click on the embedded. Ilana, is it, if I'm going too fast, just stop me. You're going to embedded, and then you have here the customization of the chatbot. What is the distance of the fab? Fab is like the bubble, the speech bubble, from the right edge and from the bottom edge, and what is the chatbot's height, and what is the chatbot's width, what is the name of the bot, what is the first thing the bot says before user input, what is the conversation language, you just need the ISO language code, and then if the chatbot is permanently open, if the text direction is right to left, and if the chat window starts open. You can you can decide that it's not starting open, but once you open it, it will work, and you can decide that it starts open and permanently open, and then you can't minimize it, and it takes over your website. No, kidding. And then you're just doing save, and what you're doing, you're just getting a code, publishing code, that's fine. And then you get an embed code, you do copy embed code, and then you can put it on, just go to the code of your website. This applies for Wix websites, for most websites. And if you want it for WordPress website, we have a plugin actually for WordPress. So for WordPress, it takes you to the WordPress plugin, and then you just have to install the Cocoa Hub plugin, and it asks you basically the same questions, and then you can just take the copy, the embed code, and put it here.
Perfect. I think we'll give it like 2 more minutes of building, and then we'll go over the course itself, because I think we're kind of running out of time, and I want to make sure we're covering the course itself. So we'll have all the info, and we'll be able to give you the rest of the information.
Okay, Emily asks about, why are you living 12 hours from here? It's okay, 12 hours, it's like you're supposed to be in the middle of the Pacific or something, maybe New Zealand. Okay, you asked about the intent instances. So mostly we do learn, wow, Emily, you're living in one of the most beautiful places on earth. Okay, so basically the machine is learning. For example, if you're trying to ask about the flowers and you're putting some flowers that are very specific to Hawaii, so maybe the machine learning will search for the specific kind of flowers that you talked about, and it won't find it. So maybe you will see that you're getting the wrong input. So in this way, maybe we will see that there's a problem with this one. Okay. So just finishing answering Emily. So basically, if you have a problem, if you see that there's a thing that the machine is not learning, so just let us know, when we will teach the machine even better. Michal Gil-Peretz asked if we can show an example of a website that uses Cocoa Hub, please. So let's go to a website of a very good friend of us that you know, Mary Tomaso. Mary, for example, she used Cocoa Hub. This is her amazing website, and you see Eva the Boat Coach here. And let's talk with Eva the Boat Coach. Say hey. I'm Eva, your boat coach. What should I call you? Ben Frank. Hello, Ben. Is your last name Frank? You see, she used the namer also. Last name Frank. But she took the namer and she customized it. She just tweaked it to make it better for her. Frank, yes. Nice to meet you, Ben Frank. So are you in the mood for channels? Sure. Great. Tell me which one of the best social network if you provide services to other businesses. So I won't go all the way, but you will see this is a website that uses Cocoa Hub. There's also the Israeli Association for, this is in Hebrew, so you can chat with it in Hebrew. There's the association called the Israeli Association for Human Languages Technologies. This one. And here they have Shemi, the chatbot that I helped them with, so it can provide more information about the association.
Yeah, we can just because it's Hebrew.
It's in Hebrew, so no, not everybody will understand it. Yeah, but there are a lot of other places that use us, and there will possibly more in the very near future.
Perfect. So let's go back to the presentation for a sec, and we'll go over what I think personally is super important. So we did all these things, or hopefully we did a giant chunk of these.
Wait, I'm just going back to sharing.
You can first put it on the right one, and then
present, and then
here. Okay, let's do this.
Push.
And then we share.
Okay.
So we don't have to go over the whole thing. Okay, share this, share. Okay, we are presenting, hopefully. Okay, so we have these three amazing options. So we have the basic course, the advanced course, and the experts course. Okay, I'll go over the basic one. Okay, so the basic course is what we've done here, but way more going into detail. We'll go details. I'm sorry. So we'll go over what is a chatbot. What is it good for? Is it what's the difference between the chatbots and assistants and voice bots? All these things. We'll go over Happy Path, which is a wonderful term. We'll go over how to create a flow, what is the best kind of flow for you, and it will be, as you see on the screen, 3 weekly sessions, 10 and a half hours total. It starts May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
May 4th, and for that course you will just need a use case, something that will help us provide you guidance and create your best, the best bot you'd like or you need. Also, you need some curiosity and a need and want for some knowledge, but that's basically all you need for the first one. And it's up to 15 participants. So I would really recommend signing up as quickly as possible, because you don't want the course to end or close and then you'll be waiting for the next session. I would really recommend signing up as soon as you can, meaning now. Next one, advanced.
And the advanced one is really when we go, in the basic one, you will go out with a chatbot of your own, but only from the main components and like a basic say navigation. In the advanced one, we really go into the mechanisms of saying and navigation and in creating intents, and how do you create the best intents, and what are you doing with the navigation? Are you asking a specific question like, how may I help you in ordering like a specific flower vase via how may I help you? And when do you write this one and when do you write this one? What are the best practices for writing the best say and getting the best engagement? And we really get into like how we collect the parameters, and not only the ones that I showed you, but how you collect multiple parameters and how you can like do if this one and then this one happens, and how to connect it to your CRM that will be probably ready by there, and like different ways to implement it like simultaneously in other places. And the expert ones is like after the advanced one, you will have a great chatbot with more than components. You will collect multiple parameters that you will write, and you will what Miri said, and it's very important to emphasize, is that 50% at least of every session is your practicing and going specifically on your use case. And you won't leave the session before the phase that you wanted to get into will be completed. And we will test it, and we will cross-test it between us if needed. And the goal that we will put to ourselves in the beginning of the session will be completed by its end. And the expert one is actually what is to be a conversation designer. For example, let's say that you created a great chatbot. Okay, what do you do with it now? You collected all the information. Now, how you use that insights to help your marketing team? How you take, for example, a use case and present it to a company and say, how can I help you with this one? And let's take me as your chatbot writer, because I can help you improve, as you see that Kaya did. So you can help your local flower shop or your local carpenter, or even like one of the biggest companies in the world, telecommunication companies in the world, that are looking to improve the customer services all the time. So basic, advanced, expert, basic chatbot, advanced chatbot, and experts. And when you will finish the experts, you will be experts.
And I just want to add on that although you presented business goals, you can use the chatbot for any other goal, to teach someone to speak English, or for social goals.
Yeah, and Michal asked if the course will be taught in English. Yes, it will be taught in English.
But we also speak other languages, so we're nice. So don't worry.
We do. Yeah, the course will be in English. And what else? Yeah, as like Heli said, for example, one of the best use cases we support and we help with is a chatbot called Raji. It's a chatbot that was built in Pakistan by one of our friends, Sabah Khalid. She's an activist entrepreneur, and she built a chatbot that helps young women and girls in Pakistan learn about sexual education, about menstruation, about feminine hygiene, about like social taboo issues that even humans are a lot of times shy to talk about or don't know how to talk about. So this is a great use case of a chatbot that helps like masses of people, and they are using our technology, our Zoom implementation. As one of the things that Miri said, you after doing the chatbot, you can also invite it to a Zoom meeting. We will learn how to do it on the course also. And by the time the course starts, we will hopefully have a lot of great surprises in the store for you. I think that
I added to the chat links to our basic, advanced, and expert courses, where you can find all the information about dates and times and prices and curriculum and what exactly you will learn. And of course, there are links there for registration as well.
Will you teach how to build textual chatbots? Of course, yeah. We'll, Ilana, what we'll do is we'll use your use case, each participant's use case, as the reference point we're going for. So if you're interested in the text chatbot, you will be building that, and you'll learn about the rest of them because we have all this knowledge, so why not share it? But we will focus on with each participant on their own use case. So that's why it's important to start with a use case. You can also change it as you go. It's not, we're not going to hold you to it, but if you're interested in the text chatbot, we'll definitely go with you and go and make sure you have your own working chatbot by the end of the course. Beginners to the highest level of it.
Ilana asked if we will if we learn teach about textual as well as voice and video. Yes, and not only this one, we also have an option that we didn't show, but because the time is too short, of inserting audio files into conversations. So you can use it like on Telegram, or connect it to a phone number, or do a voice, or do an Alexa skill. So we will teach how to do it and when to do it, because not all chatbots, because for example, you can like put things in textual chatbots that are not working when you go to voice. So one of the things that we do emphasize about our platform, that we're voice first. So we're doing like, if we can tell it by voice, it will go by text, but not everything that goes by text will also be compatible with voice. Most of the time, if I can talk to you, I can also write it. But if you do like a GIF, how do you do a GIF on a voice scale? So we will also learn the differences and when to do what. So which level builds on the previous ones? Ask Lily. Yeah, definitely. This is also, do you know about the demand for chatbot makers? As Mary Tomaso said, I think that this is one of the professions of the future, because what happens with the chatbot is like, if you know all the Gartner hype things, so like 5 years ago, the chatbot boom started, and then people thought that the chatbots can do anything, but most of them were stuck with mediocre, mundane chatbots, and great conversations were very rare. And it made chatbots a very bad impression, and people stopped using it because they say it can't do this and it can't do that. But like 2 years ago, platforms like CocoaHub were open for no coders. And then people from all over the spectrum of the localization, for example, scale like localizators and UX designers and translators. Miri was a translator. Mary, by the way, was a translator. Miri wasn't a translator. Miri was a journalist. I was a journalist. But people are coming from comedians, from screenwriting, from nutritionists. Like whatever you did, if you know how to write content, if you know how to achieve your goal by conversation, like between me and you can do it with the chatbot. And that's what we preach.
I think it's also interesting. You can look it up online. People are looking for conversation designers and conversation writers. It's a booming business. It's starting to grow much more. And now with COVID and everyone has gone online, as we said before, it's all over. We see a lot of jobs everywhere. Obviously we're not going to set you up with a specific job, but we also have connections, and we have a way for you to learn how to do this, get really good at it, and send you off into the world with the best knowledge possible. And of course, it's a course that doesn't. We're not shutting the door once we're done. We're teaching you. We'll be there for you. We'll do the whole process to make sure that you're not just getting training. You're also getting much more than that.
Okay, I just one example. The first Coco developers. So, for example, one of them was married, the first Coco developers, and lately I met a guy from Italy that is working in the wine industry. So we've created a use case for chatbots about wine. That we sent it to this marketing guy who is a very big name on the wine industry in Italy, and we just created a use case, a demo of a use case, and we sent it to everybody, so Mary will be able to get some job. And one other Coco developers guy just got asked by one of the biggest telecommunications companies in his country to present them a chatbot. So if he gets this, and we will help him with this, we're also like providing support for the people afterwards. If you need specific help with the use case to get a job, we can't promise anything, but we're helpful. And you can ask Mary, and you can ask other people that finished.
And there is absolutely an increasing demand for conversation designers. Suffice to go to Glassdoor, which is a job portal, and search for conversation designers, and you'll find that all the big names in the market are searching for conversation designers. Apple is, and Amazon is, and all other companies. That's the next thing, or the hot thing in localization. Everything that has to do with AI will just skyrise to with no limits.
Mm-hmm. For example, I think that only in Israel, I don't know if there's more like than 10 or 15 or maximum 20 real conversation designers, which is very scarce. But you can be
one. It's exactly like it was with localization experts. Now we have more, but yeah, it took time.
So feel free
let's
also.
see if anyone has questions for you guys before we end the session.
Sure. Also, we have our emails, and you can reach out, ask about the course or about the platform, about anything.
You can also, of course, find us on LinkedIn. We're there. We're very responsive. We're quite nice, I believe. Not me. I'm turning into a man wolf after like several hours, but I won't tell you which hours it is. All right. So I guess, well, I think there's one more question.
That's it.
Emily says, thank you. It was enlightening to me. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Marisa. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you, everybody that participated. I hope to see all of you or most of you in the course that starts in like 2 weeks. And
on May 4th, right?
And yeah, May 4th. And like, because we're all geeks, so May the 4th be with you. And this is a good one. All right.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
We will also, I believe that Rachel will send you the recording, so we will be able to.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.